Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation in Education 216 Comparative Education. The Thailand Education System. Thailand education system is composed of formal education, first in line. Formal education is being divided into 4 levels: early year education, basic education, vocational technical education, and higher education. Early year education is age 3 to 5 receive childhood education and being provided by government and private schools. For basic education, we have 3 levels: the Prathom 1 to 6, primary schooling, 3 years of lower secondary, Matayong 1 to 3, and 3 years upper secondary, Matayong 4 to 6. For vocational and technical education is being conducted from upper secondary, post-secondary, and university level. And we also have here the 8 fields of study, which are as follows. And the higher education, the admission is the high school entrance examination taken at grade 12 or the Matayong 6. Non-formal education. For non-formal education, it provides lifelong learning opportunities to the out-of-school population. And lastly, the informal education of Thailand. Informal education of Thailand promotes the idea that learning can also take place outside the formal space of the classroom. The grading or rating system of Thailand is from excellent, very good, good, quite well, satisfactory, fair, pass, and lastly, failure. There are also 8 core subjects being taught: Thai language, math, science, social studies, religion and culture, health and physical education, arts, careers and technology, and lastly, foreign languages. We have here the Thai education policy, which promotes or increases the capacity for the improvement of quality of life.
Education system in South Korea. Education in South Korea is provided by both public schools and private schools. Both types of schools receive funding from the government, although the amount that the private school receives is less than the amount of the state schools. South Korea is one of the top performing OECD countries in reading literacy, mathematics, and sciences, with the average student scoring about 519. Compared with the OECD average of 493, placing it 9th in the world. Education is regarded as a high priority for South Korean families. Success in education is crucial for improving one's socio-economic position in South Korea society. Academic success is often a source of pride for families and within South Korean society at large. System's rigid and hierarchical structure has been criticized for stifling creativity and innovation. Described as intensely and brutally competitive, is often blamed for the high suicide rate in South Korea, particularly the growing rates among those aged 10 to 19. The Korean public education structure is divided into 3 parts: 6 years of primary school, followed by 3 years of middle school, then 3 years of high school. The curriculum is standardized, so now both boys and girls study technology and domestic science. The primary curriculum consists of 9 principal subjects: 1. Moral education, 2. Korean language, 3. Social studies, 4. Mathematics, 5. Science, 6. Physical education, 7. Music, 8 fine arts, and lastly 9 practical arts. Major objective. The major objective is to improve basic abilities, skills and attitudes, to develop language ability and civic morality needed to live in society, to increase the spirit of cooperation, to foster basic arithmetic skills and scientific observation skills, and to promote the understanding of healthy life and the harmonious development of body and mind. On completion of primary school, students advance to middle school, which comprises grades 7 through 9. The curriculum consists of 12 basic or required subjects, elective and extracurricular activities. Elementary school instructors teach all subjects. Middle school teachers, like their colleagues in the United States, are content specialists. Schools are divided into academic and vocational schools. In 1995, some 62% of students were enrolled in academic high school and 38% in vocational high schools. A small number attended specialized high schools concentrating in science, the arts, foreign languages, and other specialized fields. This is still the case. Grading system. Middle school. Korean secondary schools traditionally used to have a 5-point grading system, which was converted from students' raw score in midterms and finals. The system was a modification from the Japanese grading system of Yoryoka, with the addition of the class Mi. This system is still used in South Korean middle schools. A or So is equivalent to 91 to 100%. B or Wo is equivalent to 81 to 90%. C or Mi is equivalent to 71 to 80%. D or Ing is equivalent to 61 to 70%. E or Ga is equivalent to below or 60%. Students are generally not held back in Korean schools, thus a grade E is still a passing grade. High school. In October 2004, the Ministry of Education changed the high school academic grading system from absolute to relative evaluation. The revised grading system provides 419 ranks based on students' relative standing amongst all others taking the same class that semester. Shown below is the grade ranking. In South Korea, depending on each school, the perfect score is represented as either 4.0, 4.3, or 4.5. The latter is the most commonly used system in the country. Some schools regard A+ and A0 as equal. Many universities use the following gradations. Teacher evaluation. Korea has used 3 different teacher evaluation systems since the 1960s. Teacher performance rating, teacher performance-based pay, and teacher evaluating for professional development. A number of studies have focused on an analysis of each evaluation system in terms of its advent, development, advantages, and disadvantages. But these studies have been critically limited in that they have focused only on the partial integration of the 3 current teacher evaluation systems, without addressing the problems embedded in each of them. The present study provides a systematic analysis of the 3 current Korean teacher evaluation systems based on a sound analytical framework and proposes appropriate direction for designing an effective and efficient system. It is found that the 3 systems share commonalities in terms of stakeholders, evaluators, scope, criteria, and methods, further supporting in the rationale for developing a single comprehensive teacher evaluation system in Korea. Finally, several steps to establish a comprehensive teacher evaluation system based on analysis results are suggested. As shown, you can see that South Korea and the Philippines has a lot in common when it comes to education. But due to the lack of funds in the Philippines, we simply cannot perform or give the best as much as we want to.